In the early hours of June 6, 1944, the fate of the free world rested on a single gamble. A gamble so vast, even its architect, General Dwight D. Eisenhower, carried a handwritten note, preparing for the unthinkable, a confession of failure. Operation Overlord, the largest amphibious invasion in history, was a meticulously crafted yet terrifyingly complex plan. Over 150,000 Allied troops, thousands of ships and planes converged on a single stretch of French coastline. The strategy was audacious. Paratroopers would drop behind enemy lines to secure vital flanks and bridges, while infantry divisions would storm 5 heavily fortified beaches. 2 missions, separated by miles, but linked by the ultimate goal of liberation. For the airborne divisions, especially the U.S. 82nd, it meant a blind leap into the dark. Their target, the crucial crossroads town of Sainte-Mère-Église and the surrounding fields. Their mission was to pave the way, to disrupt, to create chaos before the first waves even touched sand. The jump itself was a baptism by fire. German anti-aircraft guns, though surprised, quickly retaliated, turning the skies into a deadly gauntlet. Formations were shattered, men scattered miles off target. Their precise landings dissolved into a desperate scramble for survival. Private John Steele, of the 505th Parachute Infantry Regiment, 82nd Airborne, found himself directly above the small Norman town of Sainte-Mère-Église. His C-47, hit by flak, lost control, throwing him into the crosshairs of destiny. As he descended, his parachute snagged, not on a tree, but on the very symbol of the town, the church spire. He hung there, helpless, suspended between life and death, directly above a raging firefight between his comrades and the German garrison below. For 2 agonizing hours, Steele played dead, a silent, macabre spectator to the battle for Sainte-Mère-Église. He watched, unable to move, as bullets flew and men died beneath him. Eventually, he was cut down by German soldiers, taken prisoner, only to escape later and rejoin Allied forces. The town itself, eventually secured by the tenacious paratroopers, became the first liberated town of D-Day. John Steele's story is one of incredible survival, a grim, almost surreal symbol of the airborne's chaotic, yet ultimately victorious start. But his feet never touched the beaches of Normandy. That was a different kind of hell. Miles away, and hours later, another gamble was about to unfold. The infantry divisions, primarily the U.S. 1st and 29th, were crammed into thousands of landing craft, battling seasickness and fear as they approached the French coast. Their destination, Omaha Beach, a stretch of coastline approximately 6 miles long, nicknamed Bloody Omaha, for reasons that would soon become brutally clear. It was a natural fortress, with towering bluffs that gave the German defenders a perfect, unobstructed view of the entire landing zone. The intelligence was tragically flawed. Allied command believed Omaha was lightly defended by a static, low-quality German division. In reality, the veteran German 352nd Infantry Division, fresh from training and waiting. The elaborate pre-landing bombardment, from naval guns and aerial bombing, failed catastrophically. The bluffs absorbed the blasts, and the bombs often fell inland, leaving the German strongpoints largely intact. The men heading for Omaha were sailing into a pre-sighted, unbroken gauntlet of fire. At 6:30 a.m. H-hour, the first waves hit. It was an unmitigated disaster. The much-anticipated DD tanks, designed to provide crucial fire support, largely sank in the choppy waters. Engineers, tasked with clearing obstacles, were slaughtered before they could even reach them. The beach became a meat grinder. German machine guns, perfectly zeroed in, scythed down entire platoons. The water ran red. Men were pinned down in the surf, drowning under the weight of their gear, or cut down in a desperate dash across the open sand. Command and control disintegrated. Plans were useless. Yet, amidst the chaos, individual acts of profound courage began to emerge. Leaders like Brigadier General Norman Cota, rallying demoralized troops with his famous line, "We're going to fight our way inland, or we're going to die here." Small groups, often leaderless, began to improvise. They found narrow gaps in the German defenses, used Bangalore torpedoes to blast through wire, and began the brutal, agonizing climb up the bluffs, silencing pillboxes one by one. The Rangers scaled the sheer cliffs of Pointe du Hoc, fighting for every inch. Slowly, agonizingly, the tide began to turn. By late afternoon, after hours of unimaginable hell, pockets of American soldiers had breached the Atlantic Wall, and the exits off Omaha Beach were slowly being cleared. The success of the airborne, securing flanks and disrupting enemy movements, combined with the unimaginable tenacity of the infantry at Omaha, allowed the Allies to consolidate their beachheads. By June 12th, all 5 landing zones were linked, and the foothold in Fortress Europe was secure. And so, we return to the paradox. Private John Steele, the paratrooper who became a legend hanging from a church, never saw the blood-soaked sands of Omaha. Yet his story is often conflated with that brutal beach. Understanding this doesn't diminish his incredible survival. It deepens our appreciation for the diverse and brutal realities of D-Day. The courage required to hang silently above a firefight was immense. The courage required to run headlong into a hail of machine gun fire was equally profound. Both narratives, the symbolic paratrooper and the anonymous heroes of the beach, are threads in the same tapestry of sacrifice. To tell one without the other, or to confuse them, is to lose a piece of the epic scale and varied heroism of that pivotal day. The fields and beaches of Normandy stand as a testament to meticulous planning and devastating chaos, to the triumph of human spirit over overwhelming odds. But above all, they are a monument to the 4,414 Allied soldiers who died on D-Day, and countless others who followed. May we always remember the true nature of their sacrifice, the different battles they fought, and the freedom they delivered. This is D-Day's double helix, the steeple, the sand, and the enduring legacy of their sacrifice.